Someone is winning a $5,000 deck makeover. From the first shingle to the final deck board, your home is your biggest investment. But in a world of rising costs and contractor red flags, how do you know who to trust? This is the You Ask, the Pros Answer podcast. Hey, welcome to the You Ask, the Pros Answer podcast. Your questions answered by the pros you trust, presented by Pro Exteriors. My name is Cole, and I am your host. And on this month's episode, I have with me Sean O'Hagan from Forever Media. Now, a quick backstory. A few months back, Sean reached out to us at Pro Exteriors. He actually stopped by our office right here in Milton, and he was talking to us about the possibility of doing some radio advertising with them. And at the time, timing wasn't quite right on our end. But a while later, Sean reached back out and mentioned that they were going to be hosting a sweepstakes and asked if we would be interested in sponsoring it. Now, this was not something that we had done in the past, but as many of you know, 2026 is the year of the customer at Pro Exteriors. And so all year long, we have been introducing special sales promotions, special giveaways. It's just really been an emphasis on you, the customer, because without you, there is no us. And so when Sean reached out about this sweepstakes, we thought this is perfectly in line with what we are trying to do this calendar year, which is just simply give back to you, our customers. So the $5,000 deck makeover sweepstakes was born, and it is here and it is live right now. And I wanted to bring Sean on because he knows far more about it than I do. So without further ado, here is my conversation with Sean O'Hagan. All right, Sean, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. You know, you and I've had a chance over the last couple of months to interact. But I know that our listening audience, the majority, don't necessarily know who you are. So I'm just wondering, could you take a couple of minutes to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Cole, and thanks for having me on the podcast today. My name is Sean O'Hagan. I'm originally from Minnesota. Moved out here with my family in 2001, and we've been here ever since. So been here for about 25 years. Raised my kids in Milton. We lived in Milton for 14, 15 years. So all my kids went to Cape Hensleben High School with, again, some of the folks in and around the area, very familiar with that. Still live in southern Delaware, although a few years ago we moved over to Seaford, my wife and I. But yeah, so I work with a company called Forever Media. I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later, but I'm a media consultant or basically in sales, specifically advertising sales. So what I do is I talk to businesses like Pro Exteriors and big or small. I handle agency business and all kinds of things to logistically help them to basically handle any of the advertising that they want to do, specifically radio with the radio stations that we have, but we also have digital advertising options with social media and things like that as well. But the main focus is radio stations. And again, I've been doing it for a long time. I went to college. I was a speech communications radio TV major when I went to college a long time ago. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, got into it that way. Was actually on the radio for 7 or 8 years before I started selling. I was asked to do a presentation by my then sales manager at the station I was at. I did the presentation talking about demographics and the people who listened and things like that. And she called me into her office afterwards. She said, "Yeah, are you interested in selling? Because I think it's something that you could do." So pretty much ever since then, so about 30 years, I've been selling almost exclusively radio and television. I had a couple of years where I worked for a company selling mail solutions, things like that. But for the most part, it's been radio and television, and mostly, I mean, southern Minnesota where I was before, and then mostly here in Delaware. So working in Lewis, Delaware, worked a year at a station in Wilmington, and then I've now found my way here to this group, and again also working with some TV groups as well.
Cool. All right, so you're from southern Minnesota. I don't know if you and I have talked about this or not. Are you still a Vikings fan?
I am absolutely a Viking fan. You maybe can't see it if you look
Oh, no, yep,
behind me. I don't know if
yep.
you can see it a little bit. The Viking logo is there that my in-laws gave me one year. So and right next to that, I've got an autographed photo of the Purple People Eaters, which is a defensive line very
Yep.
famous from Minnesota back in the 70s. So yes, pretty much a sports fan of everything Minnesota, but a big Viking fan, absolutely, and hoping that one day we can win a Super Bowl. I'm not sure if it can happen before I leave this world, but it would be great if it did.
Well, so I'm from Baltimore originally, and
Sure.
I grew up in the era after the Colts left town, but before the Ravens came to town.
Right.
And Santa Claus one year brought me Minnesota Vikings gear. I, d-
Wow.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Santa Claus brought my sister Detroit Lions gear that same Christmas.
Wow.
And so ever since then, my sister and I have both been, albeit casual, fans of the Vikings for me
Sure.
and
Sure. And the
the
Lions for
Lions for
her.
her. Now, when the
Interesting.
Ravens
Okay.
came to town, I completely adopted the Ravens as my team, but I've always had a soft spot for the purple and
I like
anyhow,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I like to say to all the Ravens fans around here that Minnesota is the original purple team. But
yeah,
a lot of people
yep,
that falls on deaf ears around here. But yeah, absolutely. And
yeah.
yeah, really enjoy football. The fact that football season is coming around again, thank goodness, because for the sports fan this time of year, unless you're a baseball fan, it can get. I miss it. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
while we aren't a sports talk show,
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, who's often on the show with me, he knows I'm a big sports fan, Ravens and Orioles.
Sure.
And audience, we're recording this the day after the MLB trade deadline, and the Orioles broke my heart yesterday. Traded away Adley Rushman, a guy
Yeah.
who I think just does a lot right, both on the field and
Right.
off the field. And
Right.
I
And what
get,
I'm seeing is a lot of
yeah,
people felt the same way you do. Right. It's like, oh man, that was not the
yeah.
guy to trade. But
I'm also not a great businessman, and so I totally just I I'm a fan first with my heart, my head second or third. So
right. I understand that.
it might
Right.
have been a wise decision. Who knows?
Right.
Anyway, all right. So we're not here to talk sports, although I could talk it all day long.
Sure.
Forever Media is really the parent company, or I don't know how you want to describe it. But like
Sure.
I said, most people in our listening audience have probably not necessarily heard of Forever Media, but I know they know the stations that make up this company. Could you share a
Correct.
little bit about Forever Media and just give some of the specific stations that are part of it?
Absolutely. So we're a 5 station group. The offices are just outside of Milford, kind of on the way to Houston on Route 14. They're just west of Milford, and serving basically the area of pretty much going north to Dover and then south into Sussex County, and then kind of a big circle through there. We have a few different stations and formats, but Eagle 97.7, the top 40 station, been a top 40 station for over 30 years. One of our big stations here, but primarily a music station. And then we also have a news talk station with Dan Gaffney in the morning, which is WXDE. That's Delaware 105.9. So news talk, whole different format. But again, focuses on Milford and South. The tower for that station is in Lewis, Delaware, and then we have a station called The Wave, 97.1 The Wave. 60s, 70s, 80s music primarily, a little bit of early 90s, but again, focusing on people 45 plus. Then we have another station called Delaware's Greatest Hits, which is Cool 102.1. And then finally a country station, Chicken 101.3. So again, different formats, bringing messages to different demographics. So again, depending on what demographic your company or anybody's company who's out there watching the podcast, we have something that can help reach your target customer pretty much no matter what it is. And as I mentioned, we also have digital solutions as well. So
Yeah, so I've our listening audience probably knows this. I'm part of the remote team at Pro Exteriors. So while I did live in Sussex County, I now reside just outside of Cincinnati on the northern Kentucky side.
Okay. Yep.
I've been listening to the Wave here the last few weeks through the mobile app.
Yep.
Partly because our family misses the beach. We took for granted our proximity to sand.
Right. No, that's right. And you know, one of the things about the Wave too is it kind of transports you there, right? I mean, we're talking about a lot of beach things. We have a lot of advertisers that are big restaurants, big bars, big venues at the beach, and also companies that are you know, very ingrained, whether it's, you know, companies building houses or service companies or whatever in this whole area. So it is kind of like, and it's funny you mentioned that, because we were just talking about that yesterday about people who stream our station. We have high streaming numbers on the Wave because a lot of people come over from Baltimore, come over from Wilmington, and when they leave the beach, they miss it, and they one of the ways they can reconnect is by listening to the Wave. So on the stream, you can download the app. You know, go to the App Store and download the app. You can also just go to our websites with the foreverdelmarva.com as well, and you click on listen, and you can pick any station you want to. You can do it several different ways, and of course, almost everybody has a smart speakers now, and you can just tell it to listen to your favorite station, and there we are.
Yeah, not only can I hear ads for local restaurants that maybe my family used to go to and hear the weather forecast, I can also hear the traffic reports and not miss that part at all.
Well, no, that's exactly right. I'm reminded of, you know, at least a couple times a week, I'm driving down by the beach, and if I happen to do it closer to Thursday and or, you know, heaven forbid, Friday, I realized why I don't usually do it. Like last week, Friday morning, I was down near, you know, Rehoboth and Dewey and Lewis, and I'll tell you what, it is absolutely crazy, and kind of surprised that, you know, I lived in Milton for several years, and I guess just over the years it's just progressed, right? It is a tough go on the weekends down there.
Well, it's busy for good reason.
I would say that's not a thing to miss for sure.
Well, yeah. That whole area has blown up for good reason. It's a beautiful area, and people want to spend time there, and we certainly miss it. Yeah. All right. So, Sean, the real reason that folks tuned in or clicked on this video, however they're accessing this show, is to talk through this current sweepstakes that is active as of this recording and will also be active when folks are listening to it. Could you share? Let's start right off the bat. Let's kind of work backwards. First of all, how can people enter the current sweepstakes?
All right, there's a couple different ways that they can enter, and basically they can go to, as I mentioned our website, Forever Delmarva or forevermedia.com. You're able to check out the different. Basically, there's a rotating ad every couple of seconds. You'll see the big banner ad come up, and you click on there. And at that point, it'll ask you if you want to be a part of the sweepstakes, and you can basically fill in some information quickly and do it that way. You can also go to your website and do it as well, right? And that's askproexteriors.com.
Yep. Yeah, it's it really could not be easier to do. There's not a ton of steps. It takes you maybe a minute and a half all in.
Right.
Now the content. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and of course, you know, we're using all of our radio stations to promote the fact that the contest is going on, and then to direct them to either one of the sites to get entered for their chance to win.
All right. So sweepstakes obviously have to have a start date and an end date. When did this start? And more importantly, probably, when does it end?
Yep. Okay. Well, the sweepstakes began a couple weeks ago now, almost. It was Monday, July 27th was the launch, and it goes through Tuesday, August 25th. Okay. So we've still got another 3 weeks or so for people to get entered and to check it out. It really is something pretty cool for people. And again, if you whether you just bought a house or whether you've had a house for a long time, or whether you have a nice deck or whether you really don't, and you're looking at like, you know what, boy, we could really make this a whole lot better for outdoor living.
Yeah.
Maybe doing this is one way to get there. So.
Yes, I mean, we just talked about the traffic. So even for folks who do live in our service area, people who this time of year, maybe going to the beach is not on the top of their list, but being outside certainly is. And so
Yes.
folks are wanting to spend more and more time at their own house. I think the COVID era really reinforced that idea that home is this safe place, and people want to spend more and more time there. All right, who is eligible? So this podcast goes out worldwide.
Right, right.
Is there a specific net that's cast, or tell me about that.
Well, obviously it's I mean, it's adults. It's basically 18 or older, but primarily it's going to be folks who own a home. In general, I mean, obviously some people may enter if they're renters and things like that, and maybe there's something they can do with that. But for the most part, it's people that have been in their home for a long time, or maybe just moved to the area and want to fix things up and want to make it so they have a nice outdoor living area. That maybe they have a great living room or a great family room, a great rec room, but you'd like to add that outdoor area, especially when, again, I grew up and my dad grilled as many times as he could, especially in the summer in Minnesota, which wasn't a ton. But when the weather's nice,
that 3-week period,
well, again, the end of July to the middle of August, you're trying to get in as much bratwurst and hot dogs and things like that as you can. And so that was always an important part for me was having it so people could come outside and be with you when you're grilling. It's not just about, for me, it was never about cooking by myself. It's like being out there, you have a cold beverage in your hand, and you're relaxing and enjoying outside with family and friends almost always, right?
Yeah, of course. So, all right, come August 25th, the sweepstakes is going to close. Do you know approximately when and then how the winner will be chosen or notified?
Yeah, basically the winner will be drawn from the people who have entered during the open time. Basically within a couple days we will announce. I don't think we have an exact day yet when it would be pulled, and I would let you know as we get closer. But within a couple days of the closing date, we would then announce a winner hopefully. Have that be an opportunity for someone around here to make their deck a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably the time where if we had a legal counsel at Pro Exteriors, I would probably have to have somebody that speaks in a really fast voice that talks about all the terms and conditions. There's a lot of, you can read the fine print on the foreverdelmarva.com site.
Right.
For those of you that like to read fine print, but it's a pretty darn simple sweepstakes. But be sure to go to foreverdelmarva.com or askproexteriors.com to find out more about it. All right, now that we've got the perfunctory stuff out of the way, let's have a little bit of fun and talk about what $5,000 could do for your outdoor space. So real quick, if Aaron Rodgers was here, I'm going to try to put on my owner of Pro Exteriors hat, which I am not. I'm in marketing. I am not a contractor or carpenter.
Sure.
Obviously, things are costing more and more. So we're not talking about building a brand new palatial palace kind of deck with $5,000. However, if you have a strong foundation already, it could certainly spruce up your railings, or maybe replace that old pressure treated lumber with composite or PVC.
Sure.
You could add lighting. Lighting is becoming more and more affordable and more easy to install than it ever has before. So there's some really cool stuff. Sean, if you were to win this sweepstakes, and I would imagine you're probably not eligible because of your position with Forever Media, but let's just say you were.
That's correct. But yeah, go ahead.
What are you doing with that $5,000?
I would, what I would try to do if I could, I've always liked, and when I grew up, I would go to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother had like an outdoor swing. Okay,
Mm,
like right by the front of her house. So
yep.
if some of that could be directed toward a swing that was somehow most likely connected on the deck or on the deck.
Yeah, yeah,
Just always enjoyed being able to, you swing back and forth, soothing, you know,
yeah.
let the breeze hit you and things like that. And I always thought that was the coolest thing. And again, obviously, the first time I ever sat on it, I was probably 4 years old, right?
Hmm.
And also it was always a safe place, always a comfortable place, always a place where the family was, right? So
Yep.
I always liked it. So I think I would try to incorporate something like that for sure. But like you said, I would want to have, if you could resurface a deck or make it so it would be some kind of material that, again, is going to stand the test of time, that you maybe wouldn't have to stain every single year or every other year. Make it so it can stay, pristine or beautiful for as long as possible, right?
Yeah. Uh, you mentioning the swing made me smile because my grandmother had a porch swing, and I
Yep.
have a photo in memory, like in mind, of me and a few of my cousins all squished on that swing, and
Right. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
I believe it.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
All right,
but yeah,
so
that would be what I would do. Yeah.
I have a very pragmatic answer, and so the longtime listeners of the show know that my family and I, we moved out here to Northern Kentucky 2.5 years ago. We moved into a new construction home. We were thankful that the deck on the back was there because some of the houses didn't have that option, but it's just a standard like
Right.
12 by 12 pressure treated lumber deck. And pressure treated lumber is not like it was 20, 30 years ago. It's more and more brittle. Even 2.5 years in, it's like, oh goodness, I don't know how long this is going to last. So I would be putting that money towards getting some kind of nice, probably wolf composite decking or some type of PVC deck boards where
Yep.
we can go out there in the summer and not worry about splinters, not worry about having to
Yeah.
refinish it like you were mentioning. I think that's where I'm going.
No, for
Uh,
sure. For sure. Right. And see, that's the thing. When I look and you drive around and you see a lot of, uh, maybe they're new houses, maybe they've been there for a long time, but sometimes, you've got houses with big decks and gardens and things like that. Other times you see the third house down has just got the sliding glass door with a concrete pad and then nothing else.
yeah.
It's like, to
Yep.
me, the guy who's in that house is the guy that, because then you could, on top of that, you could, make something. You've got a little foundation and put something together that could be, again, make it into a nice place instead of just a concrete pad.
Oh yeah, for sure. We are, I say this collective, we spend so much time and effort decorating, remodeling the inside of our house that in the outside ends up getting neglected, which is part of what made this sweepstakes such an exciting thing for us to be able to sponsor it, is because we make our living on the exterior of people's homes, and
Right.
and
Right.
we've seen the value of not just the financial return that people see, but the joy that's brought by creating these outdoor spaces.
No, absolutely. Well, for a lot of people, it's maybe their favorite space on the house, right? Like
Oh
if
yeah,
they have a screened in porch, or they have a really nice deck, or they have a outdoor fire pit or something like that. All that kind of stuff comes together to make it, one of the best places in the house.
yeah. It's one of those places that allows for those memories that you and I have decades later that
Hmm.
otherwise wouldn't have necessarily happened, and that's a
Right.
pretty cool thing.
That's it for sure.
All right, let's just do a quick fire walk through, kind of a wrap up call to action for everybody watching. We've been talking about a $5,000 deck makeover sweepstakes hosted by Forever Media, sponsored by Pro Exteriors.
Yep.
One more time, Sean, how can people enter?
Go to foreverdelmarva.com and basically click on one of the different station logos, or you can wait for, there's a banner that rotates. You click on that about every 5 to 10 seconds, that banner comes up and you can click on that, or you can go to askproexteriors.com and do it at your website as well.
Yeah, couldn't be easier, and it's not at all hard to find. Cutoff date, one more time. Last day to enter.
Right. The last day to enter is August 25th. Had to check my notes to make sure I said the right date, but it is August 25th. We've got, again, at this point, about a little over 3 weeks to get your entries in. And again, once you do, you share a little information with us. It doesn't take very long, maybe not even 5 minutes, and you're in. And then you'll get a quick email back from us saying, hey, you're entered, and then you get some more details, and you wait to see if you're the winner, and that's it.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Well, Sean, thank you so much for being part of this today. And I know our audience hasn't had a chance to work with you like I have, but it's been nothing but a pleasure each time that we've been able to meet, even 600 miles apart. So thank you so much for making time today and for being part of this. Absolutely. I appreciate it very much. I've enjoyed working with you and the folks at Pro Exteriors, and excited for to finish off the contest and have it be a good one. All right, Sean, thank you again so much for being part of the show. That is all we have for you today on the You Ask the Pros Answer podcast. Before we go, though, we want to hear from you. Let's say you enter the sweepstakes, you win it. What are you doing with the $5,000? How are you going to spruce up your back deck or your back patio? Let us know. Also, what are some questions you have related to exterior home remodeling? We would love to feature your question on an upcoming episode. You can send those questions to info@askproexteriors.com with "You Ask" in the subject, or you can simply drop a comment wherever you are watching or listening. If you are facing an upcoming home project, we hope episodes like this help empower you to tackle it with confidence. Remember, knowledge is power, and a little bit of research can go a long way. Until next time, happy homeowning. The You Ask the Pros Answer podcast is produced in-house by the Pro Exteriors team. Pro Exteriors is the exterior contracting division of Empire Construction Group, LLC. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. For more answers to your questions, please subscribe to this channel and podcast so you'll never miss an episode. Do you have an upcoming home remodeling project? Find more answers to your questions at askproexteriors.com. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Would you please help us out by hitting that subscribe button? That would be awesome. Also, if you never want to miss another one of our uploads, please be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, thanks. See you.
Subscribe.